Y'all need some God in your life. Today I want to talk about why humans need God. God, for me, and this is the crucial point, is all that lies outside the boundaries or limitations of human consciousness. This is ultimately a spiritual message. There is a high spirit, capital H, capital S. You might not figure it in those terms. You might not personify it. It doesn't have to look like an old man with a long white beard in order for you to connect with that feeling. But I can tell you that there are angels all around me at all times. There are images and signs of God in my life that I could not live without. God is the one who has endowed me with the gift of speaking to the world, with the gift of poetry and of a presence that breathes creation. It's very difficult to talk about God because the human language fails to capture what God is really all about. It's funny that I, as a writer, emphasize the importance of God because God is totally beyond language. If you closed your eyes right now and meditated for a minute, and you chose as your meditation object something that you cannot imagine, you would come up very quickly against the boundaries of your own consciousness. The boundaries of your consciousness are not the boundaries of all existence, all being, all matter. There is much outside the human scope of comprehension. And because that's the case, what other name can we give it besides God? That energy, incomprehensible to us, that beauty, incomprehensible to us, that truth, incomprehensible to us. It empowers our lives, or at least it can. You have to be the one to invite in a reflection on all that exists beyond you. The problems of good and evil, the problems of creation itself, the problems of understanding, of consciousness reaching out into the universe. How do we reconcile all of these things? Sometimes there's not an answer. And sometimes being able to find an answerable question is not the real problem. Sometimes the real problem is how we connect with ourselves. I think that is the wonderful conundrum of God. When you come up against the boundaries of your own consciousness, and you have to acknowledge, all right, there's another side to that wall, and I'm going to call that God. Once you start to accept that there is God in this sense, there is energy all around us that we cannot understand, but that influences our lives in deeply incomprehensible to us ways. You start to connect with yourself more than you ever thought possible. We cannot have a dogmatic, prescriptive approach to God. That's not really how humanity can work at its best. When there has been these dogmatic approaches to God, it has resulted in extreme human suffering. So please understand that I'm not saying you have to force yourself into some box of religious ideology. Quite the opposite. Once you accept exactly what the boundaries of your humanity are, and you explore yourself to the greatest possible depth, you discover God. My name is Andrew Tai, world famous poet superstar, and I will always love God. And by loving God, I love you.